Welcome to Pay-Per-View. The idea of today's challenge is pretty simple. We're going to start with a traditional origami model, a paper crane. We're going to learn how to fold it. Then we're going to issue a challenge. The first challenge is how fast can you fold it. The second challenge is whether you can fold it with just one hand, which is much harder. Just searching through the internet, I typed in paper crane. There's a wiki page. Gives you a little bit of history. It's been around for ages. Actually, this was the first model I ever learnt to fold as a kid when I was 11. It was taught to me by a Japanese exchange student, and it started my origami interest. I've developed a technique which is sort of similar to that, but different. It's different because it allows me to fold it a little bit more efficiently. Let's switch to the folding view. Right. If you don't have square paper, which you do need, you can make your own. This is just a normal piece of printer paper. One way to make a square is to fold the biggest triangle first, biggest triangle possible, lining up those edges, nice sharp point there. Then you've got a cut line along here. Oftentimes I'll bend that paper back and cut it. Use whatever you've got. Oddly, I've got a pair of scissors here. I don't normally use scissors, but we'll give it a whirl. So you do need a square piece of paper. This model is relatively fault tolerant, but it's best if the paper starts off square. All right, let's go. So by making the square, I've already got one fold, a valley fold across one diagonal. I'm going to make a valley fold across the second diagonal. Nice crisp crease. Unfold. So I've got valley, valley. Switch it over, flip the paper over, that is, they become mountain, mountain. So what I want to do now is I want to do edge to opposite edge and add in some valleys on this side. Nice and accurate. There's the first one. Twirl the paper 90 degrees, edge to edge. And open it up. So I've just put in valleys, flip them back over, they become mountains. Now the nice thing about this is the paper now wants to do the right thing. The middle point is trying to go up, help it up. Let me move the camera aside so you can see what this looks like. So you can see that as I push up the corners, it forms what is called the square base, or the preliminary base. That was the original center of the paper. These are all the raw edges, and you'll notice that it opens up on the raw edges. All right, next step is to start doing some thinning. So you have the open edge facing you. Grab the first of these triangular flaps, fold this raw edge pair into the center line. Do the same on the other side, raw edge pair into the center line. While you're there, flip it over, do the same on the other side. You get a kite shape. All right. The next step is possibly tricky. I don't know whether you'll find it tricky or not. This pair of raw edges that you folded can actually be tucked inside the model. If you lift the front flap a little bit, you can push that inside and use the creases that you made. You'll just have to reverse that one. While I'm in there, I'll do the second one. Push it inside and close it up. So I've actually tucked, notice the action here, I've actually tucked that flap inside. That will help. Turn it over, I'm going to do it again. Tuck it in and tuck it in. Make the points nice and sharp if you can. Alright, so we've got the basic model morphology. This thing here is going to be a wing. Push the wing up, flip it over, push the other wing up. These two things down here, one is going to be the head and one is going to be the tail, but they're twice as thick as they need to be, twice as wide as they need to be. So we're going to narrow them. We take the top layers, we fold this edge into the middle line. I like to keep it away from the middle line just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. Nice crease. Notice that that's now folded in half. Do the same on the other side. So that they're symmetrical. Flip it over and do the same on the other flaps, other side of the model. Other side of the model. Alright, so just to help you understand this model, those are going to be the wings, and if you notice when I open the wings a little bit, we've already got the body ready to go. There's a wing on the other side. So we've got to get this pair of flaps up. Now, folding them up like that's not going to work because it isn't locked. But as it turns out, there's a gap. You can open up this side flap and push the entire flap up through the gap. This is called an inside reverse fold. And when you've got it up inside the gap, turn this, it used to be a mountain. When you push it up, if you turn that whole gutter into a valley, then the model closes and it allows you to shape the direction that you want that to face. I like to have it sticking out a little bit like that. So what we did was we took this flap, we opened the side, that gave us a nice wide view. We can then push that up into the gap and close it. So we've done that on one side, we have to do it on the other side. We've got somebody at home with sneezes. Nice valley up through the gutter. Close it so that it's nice and thin. Get the angles sort of the same. Then I tend to pick the untidiest point. They're both pretty tidy. That one there's probably the untidiest. And we do the same sort of trick. So we're making the head here. You open up that flap and you push some of the paper, not all, some of the paper through that gap and change this from a valley to a mountain and close it up. Now you've got the head and the tail. The only thing left to do is to finish the model, and there is lots of divided opinion about how the model should look in its finished form. Here's how I prefer it. Wings down as far as they'll go. Right? There's something stopping them going any further than that on both sides. So wing down, and then I like to fatten the crane up a little bit. And I do that by pointy finger, thumb, pointy finger, thumb, and then just gently pull them apart to give the body a little bit of fatness. And there's a traditional crane. So what you should now do is you should try and make one yourself. Follow the instructions, stop here, rewind, have a look at how I did it, give it a go, because the next challenge you need to be able to fold a crane. Your turn. Come back when you know how to fold a crane. Welcome back. I'm hoping you're now good at folding a crane. It's a pretty simple model, considered fairly classic origami. The next challenge, how fast can you fold it? I'm using a trusty stopwatch here. We'll see how fast I can do it. Your aim, try and fold it faster than me. Let me just change the camera angle so that you can see the folding area, so that there you can see I'm not cheating. So, I'm going to fold it in green this time, just because green means go. The aim here would be to fold it as fast as possible. Notice the page does not have any creases on it yet, because starting with creases is sort of cheating. All right, I'm going to start my watch, see how quickly I can do it. Ready, steady, go. So, long diagonal, edge to edge, edge to edge, square base, flap, flap, 30 seconds. Going a bit slow today. Flap, flap. Tuck the flaps. And raise the wing while I'm at it. Save me a couple of seconds. 50 seconds. Very slow today. Tuck, tuck. Wings up. Thin. 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 Tail up. 1.5 minutes. This is my worst time ever. Thin. Head. Wings. Wings. Body. Done. Just over 1.5 minutes. I reckon I can go faster, but I don't know whether you can. Give it a go. Your aim now, get out a stopwatch. See how quickly you can fold this thing. See if you can fold it a little bit nicer than this. As you can see, it's been rushed. There are a few fold disasters amongst that. It's nowhere near as nice as that one. Give it a try. Your turn. Welcome back. How'd you go? It's tricky, huh? You thought that was tricky. The next trick, the next part of the challenge, is to take a piece of paper, here's one I prepared earlier, and with just one hand, fold it. Now, I've never done this before, so I have absolutely no idea how long it's going to take me. I'm going to time myself. This section of video, I may in fact have to speed up, just so that it doesn't go on and on and on and on and on. But I've recorded it as a separate video and I'll staple it onto the previous two and we'll probably speed it up in post-production. Anyway, my aim is to fold with one hand. Paper has no creases on it and I'm ready to go. I'm not sure if you are. Get yourself ready, give it a try. I've also seen this challenge done a different way, as in fold with your feet. My feet are pretty ugly and pretty clumsy, so I don't think I'd be able to do that one. But I'm going to try it with one hand and we'll see how we go. So I'm ready, set, go. So I'm going to follow the same method as best I can, but just using one hand. I don't know how good I'll go, but we'll see. I have a feeling some of the moves are a little bit trickier. So far, corner to corner is okay because I've got fairly good reach with my hands. But those of you with smaller hands might find that move tricky. Flip the paper over, edge to edge. It's tricky. Sorry if I get my head in the way of the camera. Oops, swizzle the camera around so you can see what I'm doing. One hand. All right. Sorry about that. You would have just seen my head there. Open it up. It is really tempting to try and bring the other hand in and cheat, but I'm avoiding that because there'd be no point in doing the challenge if you had to cheat. All right, that's good. All the main creases are in. Folding the square base sort of works with one hand. Excellent. Okay, I'm not unhappy with that. Nearly 1.5 minutes already. Okay, side edges. That's tricky. Getting those accurate is very tricky. This hand is not working very well either, so I'm struggling a little bit. But I think I'm sort of getting the right shape. I don't think it's going to be as pretty as the other one though. Oh, okay. Over. Raw edge corners into centre line. That's hard. Ugh. And raw edge corner in. Nearly 2 minutes already. Oh dear. Still, I suppose, I've not done it before, so I don't know how long it's going to take. Alrighty, I think this next bit's going to be tricky. We'll see. The aim is to get those flaps in and just use a single hand to do it. The bottom edge is okay. Oh yeah, okay, top edge works. That's set in okay. It's a little bit crinkly, but I think it'll stay. Second one. Okay, while I'm at it, I'll have that up because it's got to go up eventually anyway. Flip it over, tuck, cramp, which is not helping at all. Basic shape kinda done. Ow. Right. A bit of a cramp then. Alright, next. Leggy bits, yep. Thin them. And not looking forward to the inside reverse folds, but at 3.5 minutes I'm probably not doing too bad. Other side sort of in. That's hard. Nearly 4 minutes. Okay. This is the world's least riveting YouTube, but it's tricky. How are you going? Sort of got a point there. It's not very pretty, but it sort of will work, I think. Get that into the middle, last sharpening. Then we come to the dreaded inside reverse to see whether or not I can actually do that with one hand. I'm not sure. I could cheat, but it's not really cheating. I'll open it flat, fold it all the way up, then close it. Yeah, that sort of works with one hand, and that's going to be fairly untidy, so while I'm at it, why don't I make that the head? Kill 2 parts of the bird with one stone. Ooh, his head's pointing up a smidge. I need to bring him out, maybe like that. Squish that. Ugh. Alright, I got a head. Do the tail the same way. I quite like that technique. Fold it flat. Bring the whole flap up through the gap, then close it, then angle it. Don't think I'm going to be able to make the body fat, because I need to be able to grab it both sides to do that. Anyway, wing down, nearly done. Nearly 5.5 minutes. Blimey. Other wing down, and purists would say I am done. 5.5 minutes. Actually, it's probably a little bit tidier than the one I did really fast, but it's not as tidy as the one that I took my time with. How did you go? Give it a try. It's harder than it looks. Good luck.